I was watching an episode, this was quite some time ago, I was watching the TV show Sightings, and there was a true account on there of a ghost researcher who had come to this family's house because they were having a lot of unexplained activity. Well, they went into the basement of their house waiting for the ghost to appear that the family had been seeing. They sat in the basement talking amongst themselves for about an hour when they saw a blue light at the far side of the room. And the ghost researcher was frozen in fear as a ball of blue light orbited and fluctuated, and, well, after the light faded, they went and checked the camera, and the only thing that was on the camera was the family staring at a blank wall.
Oh.
People sometimes ask me, Tom, you know a pop gun can't kill a ghost, can it? Well, you gotta use the psychological bullets. You see, a ghost doesn't know the difference between a gun and a toy gun. It's the same thing to them. Use an imaginary gun. If the ghosts believe it's a real gun, the bullet goes right into them and they explode. You see, there is a psychological component to unexplained phenomenon. Think about it. How could there be paranormal activity without human consciousness? Well, it's impossible. The human component necessitates ghost activity. Think about it. If the world was empty and nobody even existed in it, would there be any ghosts? Would the planet Earth be empty and there still be ghosts walking around? Well, I don't know, Tom. The way things are going, we might find out. That's the reason demons like to use things like toys and dolls. It's because it's a psychological thing where they psych people out. It's how they trick them. Unfriendly spirits will use the guise of being children. They'll speak in a children's voice or an old lady's voice. The truth of the matter is they may be deceiving you because it's a game to them. And that's why they love modern electrical devices. You may also notice that spirits speak in a different rhythm than humans and about double speed. EVPs usually occur at a higher rate of speed of 40 to 50%, and they sound unnatural. It's also like the gloves come off, where they have no interest in being polite, having any sense of standard. It's just gone. And that may be a side effect of being on the other side, where there's just no reason to behave in normal human terms. And that's just my personal observation. I watch a lot of ghost TV. Voices coming through the spirit box or the phonetic generator. The intelligences that they're in contact with are in a haze themselves. Well, Tom, they're probably on some kind of drugs. They're on some sort of space drugs. Well, we don't know. Some of it even theorized that it's a dream zone that is ambient. There are EVPs too. In fact, it seems the majority of EVPs are not benign. They are very violent. everyone, we're at Pleasantview Cemetery now. And we are just going to activate the Elf Zone EMF reader. Because you just never know. Just a reminder, everyone. If these numbers start going up and down, something's active. Let's get this party started. All right, everyone, I'm already sensing that we may be under surveillance. I'm getting a premonition that something is watching us behind that hill. What do you think, Avery?
I think you're right. I have a spooky feeling.
Everyone at home, we don't want to alarm you, but we think there's something watching us. All right, we're just going to activate the spirit box now. Going to do a reverse sweep setting. As you may know, this area is being terrorized by shadow people. And we are investigating these happenings. We want you to know that we are on your side. We are only here to investigate, and there's nothing to worry about. This is an electronic range detector. If you'd like to interact with it, well, go right ahead. Here we have Hannah and Shelley Burr, wife of Sweezy Burr.
Sweezy?
Sounds like quite a character. Sweezy Burr. I bet he made quite a name for himself around town. Joseph Sickledauer. Just keep an eye out, everyone. It seems we have a spectator. That tree line. Something's watching us. It may just be curious, or it may be up to something. Bessie E. Speyer. The Sini brothers. We're just here to investigate the other side. I like this headstone. We're supernatural investigators. Well, everyone, still no activity on the elf zone. But from the moment we entered, we felt like there is something that is hiding behind that hill, specifically. It's my guess that there was something hiding in this cemetery during the night. And then when it saw us walk up, it skedaddled. I'm starting to put things together here. There's something that likes to hang out here during the darkness of night, hide behind the tombstones, and then, whenever it sees trouble coming, it does the quick escape. We're just trying to figure out why shadow people do the stuff they do. Because they shouldn't be doing it. Well, during our first 10 minutes in the cemetery, nothing really happened. There was no voice activity, but that's about to change as we move from the north end of the graveyard to the south end. Things begin to ramp up, and I'm hesitant to even include this because these spirits are not so nice, and one of the voices here says sex, which I don't know why they talk that way, and I'm sorry to include this kind of language in the show, but I wanted you to see what sort of dark entities that I have to deal with. I don't know why they act this way, but the frequency is changing about every third of a second on the spirit box. It's very quick. The rapid frequency changes, and over the spirit box sweep, you will hear a whispering voice say, sex. I'm going to change it up and switch frequencies here. We're going to up the speed rate, and we are going to change to a different sweep setting. Well, right here is when, after I heard that creepy voice, I decided to change it up a little bit. And so I'm going to up the frequencies, and apparently that does the trick for the entities in the graveyard, because that's when things start to take off. As soon as I do it, you hear a man go, "Geez," and then say, "Hello." And then, a few seconds later, a voice says, "Get out." Hello. Did I hear "get out"? Why should I get out? Here comes the part where I say, "Do you hide behind these trees at night?" And a deep, scratchy voice says, "Yes." Then another voice says, "Shadows." Do you hide behind these trees at night? Listen closely to this. I say, "Is this your hideout?" And a woman's voice says, "Many of them." And then three voices, in quick succession, it's very quick, three voices in a row say, "Yes, yes, yes." Is this your hideout? Here's the part where I say, "Is there more than one of you?" And the deep, scratchy voice says, "There's three." And a woman's voice says, "Yes." Is there more than one of you? Here's where I say, who's hiding here? And a voice says, no one. Who's hiding here? We're not angry, we just want to know. Why do you do the things you do? This happens quite a bit. If you've seen the show Ghost Hunters, they were also in a cemetery when a disembodied voice read the tombstone back to them. There was another episode where they were walking through a hallway and they were looking at the inscription below a painting, and across the spirit box a voice was reading the inscription at the same time they were looking at it. Why do they do this? It's an intimidation thing. That they want you to know that they are invisible, but they're standing right next to you. They want you to understand that you can't see them, but they are literally inches away from you. They're standing right there. And the moment I walk up to it and start looking at this Scrivener headstone, a voice says, Scrivener. Boy, you'd hate to end up in here, right? Tom, this is the last place I'd want to go swimming. It almost makes you wonder if someone ever drowned in here.
Ooh.
Well, everyone, whatever was hiding in that cemetery during the night seems to have eluded us for the moment. But it's very telling. I have a feeling that once we leave here, the being that escaped will retreat back into its hideout of Pleasantview Cemetery.